Hello, 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 collective. It's your girl, Jamila Newman, aka Mila. If you know, you know. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have for the collective. We have some difficult decisions when it comes to new inspiration. By using your resilience, it's going to bring you justice and new financial opportunities. The World card is letting us know that your fulfillments can be achieved by balancing your priorities. The Moon card is out here saying that there are some illusions and confusions being thrown at the collective at this time. So let's go ahead. We'll dig a little bit deeper into our decisions that need to be made. But these illusions are meant to be a learning opportunity, not something to slow and stop you, but for you to observe, understand, and move accordingly with the Page of Pentacles here. So we have the difficult decision with the Two of Swords. So let's see. What do we need to know about these difficult decisions? Difficult decisions. Hold on. I shuffled before, but I would like to shuffle again so we can get a clear understanding of what's really going on. All right. What do we need to know? Inside scoop about bad karma. Taking a closer look. Someone's been in your business. Someone's been looking closely at what you're doing. They're crying over you. They're still not over it. Watching your every post. Trying to pretend that they're okay. What do we need to know about this bad karma? Bad karma. What do we need to know about this bad karma? Someone's receiving bad karma for running. Moving. Okay, so someone's receiving bad karma for running, moving away from the collective. And threatening collective because they felt threatened. They were feeling threatened. So they decided to take a power play. The collective made them feel insecure and threatened about who they were, how they were presenting themselves to the world. So they decided to do a power play and take control to make you feel unsafe. We have some illusions around the collective. What do we need to know about these illusions? What needs to be known? Ha! Oh my gosh. Okay, so the collective has had someone that has been copying themselves, stealing your ideas, duplicating your style, feeding off of all that you've been creating. Because they received an offer by presenting your knowledge, your gifts, your talents. They were able to receive some sort of financial gain off of that. This person is a drama starter. They like to stir up mess for everyone, always trying to be in the middle of things. And they like to cause chaos. This is an obsessive lover, someone who's clingy and controlling, can't let you go. They're very karmic and chaotic. So the difficult decision that the collective had to make was to move away from this person that they thought was going to add to them, but they were actually a karmic partner, as in a partner that was not willing to learn the lessons and do the right thing. They were more focused on what they received instead of what the collective, being an equal give and take. Deception. They did a lot of lying when it came to your nature, who you are. They told people that you were not nurturing. They told people that you were unstable. They told people that you couldn't manage your own resources. What did they stand to gain from that? What were they trying to gain? Personal luxury and financial independence. They were trying to gain their own financial independence by taking your financial independence. Let's find out a little bit about this deception. What lies were told? Scarcity tactics. They orchestrated events in your life based on ego to make sure that you went without. And we have girl fight in reverse. That means that someone was they were jealous, argumentative, trying to fight a battle that the collective was not even fighting because their ego was hurt. And it got in the way because they did not have the money that they were trying to tell people they had. They did not have the means to support the glitz and glamour that they had surrounding them. They were acting like they had everything. They had the money, they had the car, they had, my daughter's in the back, they had all the accolades, so people would look up to them as if they were a great role model. And in all actuality, they were faking it. They were acting like they knew all this stuff. They had all this stuff. They've experienced all this stuff based on their own merits. But in all actuality, they were stealing from other people. They were getting financed by other people so they can appear to be successful. And by putting you down, collective, they thought that that would elevate them, that would make them more than what they truly were. But the collective is moving on. The collective's like, thank you, next. Karmic friends in reverse. You are not friends with this person. You don't want to be friends with this person because you know that you can't trust them. There is always a sense of envy oozing off of this person, a sense of them comparing themselves to the collective. They thought that they were being low-key with their comparisons or low-key with trying to seem better than the collective, but it wasn't low-key. It was right in your face. You knew exactly what they were doing and when they were doing it. Let's go ahead and get back into the tarot and see what else we need to know. What does the collective need to know? Page of Swords, curious observers, an Emperor. Well, there is someone that has been observing, standing back and watching and judging based on the information that they are seeing. Who is actually reliable? We have Knight of Cups and the King of Wands. What do we need to know about this Emperor? This Emperor suffers from bad habits. Bad habits. Alcohol. Shrugs. Lust. Repeating the same mistake over and over again. They can't break out of this loop. they aren't willing to do the inner healing. And they're holding a grudge because the collective can. The collective doesn't have addictions. The collective is able to have self-control, so they don't feel the need to sleep around or sleep with multiple partners to make them feel better. The collective is celibate and content with that. And they talked a lot. They gossiped about the collective. They talked behind the collective's back and then smiled in the collective's face as if everything was okay. They were holding a grudge, this Emperor energy, due to the fact that you were reliable. And they married for money. So they're jealous of the collective because the collective is okay in their own skin. The collective does not have any bad habits. The collective is not into casual relationships. The collective has a lot of self-control, and the collective doesn't need money in order to shine. And they marry for money. Money, status. But this last thing that they did, which was to marry for money, was a dirty offer. The person that they married gave them exactly what the collective, the collective, what they see, that they didn't see in the collective, they saw in this person. And I'm not trying to laugh at this person, but when you actively put someone else down due to what they do not have and go and seek the opposite, not because of their character, but because they lack financial status in which you were seeking, and then you find that person, and then you find yourself in a world of hurt because you thought you hit the jackpot with this dirty offer. You got an unexpected windfall. You felt you were in the right place at the right time, that you were getting a blessing, that you were going to be boss. What actually happened? That there was no chemistry. They don't have any vibe. It's a hollow relationship, like most relationships where people marry for status and not because they care. And they can't get over the collective. They're still wanting the collective. And that is leading them to always party, trying to drink their problems away because they want you back. They're cyber stalking you. They're studying everything that you do. Let's go ahead. What does the collective need to know from this negative energy? They're smiling on the outside, but dying on the inside. So collective, if you were holding a candle, you were holding out for hope of a relationship with someone that they may have ended it with you, or they may have just left it open. Just know that they talked about you behind your back. They told all kinds of horrendous stories about you in order to make themselves feel good. And they got married. They married someone that they thought was going to give them a financial boost. That they were attractive. They had money. That's all they needed. And now they're stuck in a relationship with someone that they don't love because they married them for money. And without that person, they'll be lost. And they're not strong enough or capable enough to live on their own 2 feet, to stand on their own 2 feet like the collective. So if you were under the impression that this is your twin flame, that is a false impression, because your twin flame will mirror exactly what you have going on. This person was what we like to call a false twin flame, Maybe at one time they had the potential, but it's all based on your free will and the decisions that you make. And once you make the decision that takes you off the path, you are not aligned with the collective any longer. They now have things going on in their life that they can't look left, they can't look right. It is in their face. They have to deal with these things. So what was a lesson for you, this was a lesson. This is for you to know who you are and appreciate who you are, and understand that not everybody can do what you do. Not everybody is capable of being on your level. And you did what you needed to do. You moved on, you moved forward, and that's justice. Not just justice for you, but justice for that person. So now they are going to have to learn, because they failed the test, and they're going to have to dig themselves out of the hole that they dug for themselves. All right, collective. Until next time, keep shining. Shine so bright, you piss everyone off.